This summer, say I do.
I am marrying a stranger.
Like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts.
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name is Paul Brunson.
More couples.
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
And more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough.
You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight, now streaming. New episodes Thursdays, only on Peacock.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to Holocron Histories, Star Wars Canon versus Legends, where we're going to take a deep dive into the lore of the Star Wars universe.
Hello, and welcome to the Holocron Histories podcast, where we talk about the differences between the legends and canon of the Star Wars universe. I am Teacup, also known as Austin, and I am here with my other host,
Ben of Temeria.
Yeah, and so we are here to talk about starships, which I'm all ready to talk about, especially after watching your stream of Squadrons.
Right.
I have played through the campaign a little bit since then.
I still haven't beaten that campaign. I don't know why. I need to finish that campaign.
Oh yeah, you should. I mean, it's a pretty good one. I have trouble getting a match in multiplayer. Yeah,
I was having that issue. And if anybody is listening or watching, yesterday on Labor Day, we did a charity stream for St. Jude Children's Hospital with the Robots Radio Network, the network we're a part of. I did a Star Wars Squadron stream at 10 p.m. last night. And yeah, trying to find multiplayer matches in that game is rough. Like, either you play the story or you fight against AI. That's literally probably the best point of playing that game right now.
Yeah.
It took me about 2 minutes to find a match.
Yeah, and I can't unlock like a ranked fleet match because I'm not level 5.
Mm-hmm.
But I also couldn't get Battlefront to even load a map.
Really?
Like, I would get matched in a battle, but it wouldn't load.
Battlefront, I get like into a match almost instant as soon as I hit it. It's insane.
Right, I might just need to like reinstall the game because it would like pair me, because I love playing co-op. That's my mode in Battlefront 2, is to play co-op. And I tried loading it because I normally just go in, hit play any, because I don't care what faction I am or what era I'm playing in. And I get matched up, and then it's just forever on like the loading screen.
Weird.
So I think I just need to reinstall.
Yeah, I would say I would try reinstalling it. But enough of Battlefront and Squadrons. As we are going still into the Starship theme that we're going on, we are going to be going over the LAAT, which, if no one knows any ship by that name, it is the Republic gunship that we see in the Clone Wars that the clones normally use. So, with that, we are going to start in Legends. So, before the Clone Wars, there was an instance in the New Sith Wars where the Adonanite forces, I think that's how you say it, used gunships visually similar to an LAAT. They were sometimes carried into battle by a ship that was visually similar to a CR-25 troop carrier. Kreia Holt, disguised as a member of the death cult, Oridon, traveled abroad one of these ships on a mission to Sosaria?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all we have before the Clone Wars. It is basically, hey, here's a ship. It's very similar to an LAAT. Oh, hey, it's carried by another ship very similar to another ship we know in the Clone Wars. And that's it. That's it.
Interesting.
And I think it was mostly like a visual thing. Like, the New Sith Wars in Legends was mainly either comics or the novels, like a lot of the books. So they kind of just, hey, let's take a ship that we see in the films and tweak it a little and like, here you go, here's a new ship in the new era. But then we get to the Clone Wars. An early LAAT design was used by a prisoner transport by the Jedi Order at least 10 years before the Clone Wars. But a more familiar infantry version gained fame as an air assault vehicle during the war. So the LAAT was already in use, but more as a prisoner escort transport vehicle than instead, hauling around clone troopers all over because they didn't have clones.
Right.
The LAAT was first developed in a military operation at the First Battle of Geonosis in 22 BBY, where 6 gunships rescued the surviving Jedi from the I don't even know how to try and pronounce this. Piranakai arena under the command of Jedi Master Yoda. Yeah, it's Star Wars. There's a lot of the names that we will look at and it's like, how the heck do you say this? Though then again, I could say that to Geonosis and say it perfectly.
Yeah, but Geonosis, this is the arena, this is Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
When we see the gunships come in and fly in and save.
Literally everyone and freaking take out so many battle droids.
Mm-hmm.
God, I loved using the LAAT in Battlefront 1 and 2, like the originals.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I would just move to control the little green orb.
Yeah,
thing, and then just ride around.
And you'd just be taking everyone out because that laser is, the laser is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
The gunships proved valuable for the Republic during the battle, eliminating many hard sell class transports and clearing the battlefield with many separatist armored units, especially Hailfire droids, which were providing deadly for the Republic ATTEs, which ATTEs were the 6-legged walker style tanks, I believe.
Big cannon.
Yeah, with the big cannon.
Mm.
Flights of the LAAT gunships were attempted to disable and destroy many of the fleeing Yuklahok-class core ships on the battlefield during the war. Jedi would occasionally pilot the gunships as demonstrated by Mace Windu at Geonosis and Obi-Wan Kenobi at the Battle of Thrall. Which I did not know Obi-Wan flew one of those. Infantry gunships saw continued use throughout the war, with many stationed at the Jedi temples on Coruscant. They would prove pivotal at the Republic's many times throughout the brutal conflict, helping win many battles. At some point, the Confederacy unveiled their answer to the LAT, the Mechanized Assault Flyer, followed by the HMP Droid gunship, both of which matched the LAAT in terms of firepower. So
that is not true in the games. They do not match.
Oh yeah, in the game, no.
Firepower.
In game mechanics, the LAAT is far superior than most ships in the entire game at this point. At that point.
Well, the HMP droid gunship, that's the one that's got the weird
it has the weird face.
Yeah.
Yep.
But in canon, they're ray shielded, which you see that in the Clone Wars cartoon on the Onderon campaign thing or arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at some point during the Clone Wars, at least one LAAT was deployed at the clone trooper unit that included BL 1707 on Lubang Minor, but ended up stranded there, of which the vehicle was later rediscovered by one ABY. Ultimately remaining Republic LAAT gunships would be assimilated into the Imperial Army with the formation of the Galactic Empire. Eventually, the Empire would phase out the LAAT for various reasons, replacing them with the MAAT. which I can't remember off the top of my head what the MAAT is. But it's another... Oh, I think isn't it just the normal standard dropship they have?
Maybe. The one that, like, drops the walkers?
Possibly. There was a dog.
I heard him. Or her.
Okay, so it's the MAAT was it. Okay, in design, it is very similar to the LAAT.
Yes.
During the Clone Wars, many LAAT gunships were customized with special paintwork. The Manulus 10 had a special gunship assigned to them, painted with a blue color scheme and the visage of a rancor across the nose of the ship. And if you watch the anime series, so many gunships are customized with war paint. Yes. And it's awesome.
Well, and so for all of you who know, the clone company that he is talking about is the one that Commander Frodo leads in the original Clone Wars cartoon from like 2005.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one that like on when Obi-Wan's on that planet with the weird bounty hunter who like grows his limbs or stuff, or is like made of some kind of sludge or something, where they joust in speeder bikes.
Okay,
yeah. So that's the company that's using this modified.
It's been so long since I've watched that show. The 2005. I mean, each episode was like 10 to 15 minutes, if that.
In a cut scene, the Bad Batch, they don't have an LAAT, but they paint their ship. And in a cut scene from the Clone Wars, they had a picture of a certain
Naboo senator that we know.
And Naboo senator in a stereotypical Navy, Army,
old school, like if you think like World War II Navy style, like bombshell style of Padme.
Yes,
it's hysterical.
And
Anakin gets pissed.
He's so mad. It's hilarious. I know why they took it out, but it's hilarious.
You can find the
raw.
Yeah, you can find the cut footage on YouTube. Just type in Bad Batch gunship or Bad Batch cut
Senator Amidala.
Yeah. So other gunships, some which were also individually named, were painted by provocative or morale-boosting artwork on the nose of the ship. Some known customized gunships were the Lucky Liku, Crumb Bomber, Space Ward Who, Bantha Poodoo, Plo's Bros, Separatist Nightmare, Bad Kitty, Dooku Boot, and the Bug Stomper. They were also an LAAT/C gunship with a Wampa painted on the nose. And the Plo's Bros actually is in a episode of the Clone Wars animated.
Well,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Wolfpack. Yeah. Yeah, the Wolfpack, because that's Plo's company, right?
Yeah.
And they have like Plo's Bros on the actual gunships and their ships. It's great.
That's hilarious. I need more content like that.
Right?
In my life.
So now we get to the Galactic Civil War. So early in the Galactic Civil War, a small anti-Imperial faction led by former Jedi General Ram Koda found the use of the LAAT during the attack on Imperial forces stationed on Felucia shortly after the inhabitants of the planet were corrupted by the dark side of the Force. And if that name rings a bell, General Ram Koda is the Jedi Master that you first fight and then become an apprentice of in Star Wars Force Unleashed. His Star Killer's first Jedi assassination, and then later Koda becomes his master.
Mm-hmm.
I love those games.
He wore his lightsaber on his back. I always thought that was cool.
Yes. Later on in the Galactic Civil War, the Rebel Alliance found several disabled yet still functional LAAT gunships. The Alliance used these vehicles to further their cause in overthrowing the Empire. And then, when in use by the Rebels, they were known as either Alliance Assault Craft or Rebel Assault Transports. Other Rebel groups not affiliated by the Alliance would also come to rely on the aging military transports, like the Janimbi and the Camonian Rebels. Like Camonian as in like...
Kaminoan, yeah.
Oh yeah, Kaminoans. I did not know the Kaminoans fought against the Empire.
Yes, because do you remember the original Battlefront 2 game? You did that mission where you got to play as Boba Fett.
Oh, that's right.
No.
I forgot about that.
They start churning out more clones. And
the Empire did not want to do that.
No.
Also during the Galactic Civil War, an Imperial Storm Commando named Sharkil, along with the many other stormtroopers, landed on a canyon on Geonosis after a skirmish in the asteroid field with Rogue Squadron. Sharkil's escape pod landed near an LAAT gunship left over from the Clone Wars. And then the Imperials were attacked by a B-1 series battle droids, also from the Clone Wars. Sharkil commandeered the LAAT in an attempt to escape the droids. Wedge Antilles, who also crashed on Geonosis, fought his way through stormtroopers and droids and was attacked and almost killed by Sharkil. When he came out of the chaos, the LAAT was severely damaged when Wedge took control of a E-Web heavy repeating blaster. Swearing revenge on Wedge, Sharkil crashed the LAAT into the canyon wall. So, Wedge had beef with a Stormtrooper Commando.
Right, which the repeating blaster he takes is, if you remember, on Hoth and Empire, the Stormtroopers wheel out this, like, mounted gun.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he used to attack that.
It's a big blaster that you can use in even the games, and it's devastating.
Yes.
So, some of the variants of the LAAT, the Rothana Heavy Engineering produced a number of LAAT variants, including the LAAT-C, a carrier gunship compatible delivering walkers and fighter tanks onto the battlefield, the LAAT-V with deck space for 16 speeder bikes or 8 military land speeders, and a command variant commonly used by advanced recon commandos.
Interesting. Those are ARC troopers, if you didn't know.
Yes, the awesome troopers. Though Republic commandos in general are awesome as well. But ARC troopers are great. Some models lacked the bubble turrets on the sides of the deck, or had painting on the sides instead, such as the Kowakin Monkey Lizard or Twi'leks. Non-standard paint schemes appeared more frequently on crafts assigned to several elite units, such as ARC troopers. On units that had them, the side-mounted bubble turrets were mounted on armatures that normally held forward half of the passenger bay doors, as the LAAT-I was equipped with an atmospheric pressure containment shield specifically for use in a vacuum. It was used for various actions and suborbital combat situations, and were also boarding missions between carrier vessels and enemy cruisers in outer orbit and deep space battles. So, the LAAT was actually, you would actually be able to use that in space and then descend onto orbit.
Right, but it does not contain a hyperdrive.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
It does not have a hyperdrive. They are only for transport. Bubble turrets were fitted into the LAAT gunships engaged in combat above atmospheric ceiling of planets and in space on numerous occasions. At least one longer range voyage was undertaken by an LAAT-S during the Clone Wars, with bubble turrets fitted in conjunction with fully enclosing sealed passenger/cargo bay doors. However, the craft craft crash landed after atmospheric entry due to complications with weather conditions.
Interesting.
So that's what we got in the Legends part of the LAAT.
Yeah. Well, let's go to our break.
All right.
In the canon.
Sweet.
All right, welcome to the middle of the show where we talk about everything that doesn't have to do with the lore, Legends versus Canon, but does have to do with this podcast. And the first thing I want to do is let you know that we do have a Patreon, and we wanted to say a special thank you to all of our patrons, and especially welcome our newest patron, Psych88, from as a Sith Lord / Jedi Master tier patron. Thank you so much for supporting us, and welcome Psych to the patron. So you will be joining us on the patron episode. He also guested last week with us.
Which is funny because last week was supposed to be the patron episode. So
right,
he gets got a little early access there. But if you want to hear more of Psych, he also is one of the hosts for the MCU Lorecast, part of the Robots Radio Network as well.
Yes. And so if you want to sign up for Patreon for our tiers, you can find that link, Patreon/Holocron Histories. You can go there and sign up and support us at various tiers and do that. We greatly appreciate that. Another great way to support us is to leave ratings on Spotify or reviews on Apple. If you leave us reviews with 5 stars and some words, we will read them out on a future episode of the show. I do not believe we have a review today unless one came in internationally.
Nope, I haven't seen new ones yet.
Yes. All right. And then the last thing, just real quick middle break. The last thing I want to remind you of is our Discord servers. So you can find us on the Cups Podcasting and More server, where is the server hub for any podcast that I host on or my co-host She-Cup host on. So that's the Dragon Age Lorecast, the Assassin's Creed Lorecast, this podcast, and our new podcast, the Inheritance Page by Page podcast. So you can go there and find out all information about that. You can also find us on the Robots Radio Network Discord, which that's where you can find other Rocket Club podcasts or other podcasts in the Robots Radio Network. So it's the place to be for video game podcasting. You can find anything from Mass Effect, Elder Scrolls, The Witcher, Cyberpunk, even Sea of Thieves.
If you can think it, it more likely will be there. If not, someone's thinking of it. You can make one. Yes. You
can join the Rocket Club and do it. The last thing is that you can follow both of us on Twitch. You can follow this on Twitch for Holocron Histories to get Ben streaming throughout the week, various Star Wars games. And you can follow me at Teacup92, where I will be likely streaming an Assassin's Creed game that I'm playing at some point. Maybe some Dragon Age too.
Hey, weren't you streaming Odyssey today?
I was streaming Odyssey. I'm supposed to be playing through them in order, but I have gaming ADHD right now.
Fair enough.
That's happening. So I literally have stared at my gaming library and just put it away.
That's fair. And just until the new one drops.
Yeah, I'm waiting for so many new games.
Yep.
That I just can't.
Ubisoft Forward is this Saturday. If anybody want to watch it.
Yes,
and Mirage will be there, and then it was reported the Assassin's Creed Infinity game is supposedly going to have news.
Oh, interesting.
That was just reported. But anyway, also I do want to shout this out. Since this episode will be out on Thursday, you can go to the Robots Radio Discord, and there will be a link for the St. Jude charity donation that we did for yesterday's stream on Labor Day. So you can help us hit that $750 goal that we have. We're at $712.50 at the current moment. So any donations to help fight cancer will be appreciative, and don't be a Sith about it.
Right. Don't ever be a Sith.
Exactly.
No matter how cool the powers are or the cool black capes, don't be a Sith.
Be a Jedi. Help kids.
Yes. Be a Jedi, help the kids. Well, this is a good point. Jedi help kids, Sith.
And don't be an Anakin.
So, Do not be an Anakin.
Don't be an Anakin.
All right, let's
That's
get
it.
back to it.
All right. All right. Now that we're back and going into the canon of things, so canon, obviously, we only got the Clone Wars. The LAAT infantry gunships were first developed during the First Battle of Geonosis in 22 BBY as part of the Grand Army of the Republic. The LAAT gunships were attacked the
Geonosis Arena.
Let's just go with that. Geonosis Arena and rescued Senator Padme Amidala and members of the Jedi Order from Count Dooku. So, Attack of the Clones. The LAATI gunships also then saw action against the Separatist droid army, alongside low-altitude assault transport carriers and AT-TE walkers, and proved instrumental in the inflicting heavy damage on the Separatist droid forces. The Battle of Geonosis marked the beginning of the Clone Wars, the first large-scale galactic war, wide conflict in a millennia. As we find that out through the High Republic, there wasn't really wars. There was just skirmishes amongst pirates. Anyway, the Republic gunship saw heavy use during the conflict, deploying troops to battlefronts like Teth and Umbara. During the last days of the war in 19 BBY, the LAAT gunships saw service on numerous worlds, including Kashyyyk and Utapau. And Jedi Masters Mace Windu, Kit Fisto, Agent Kolar, and Cessni 10 traveled on LAAT gunships to confront Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, who was the Sith Lord Darth Sidious. Their failed attempt to arrest Sidious led to the infection of Order 66 and the transformation of the Galactic Republic to the Empire.
I just have to say this. Kit Fisto deserved better.
He did. I'm sorry. He was so, in the film, he gets one-shotted, cool. And then you go into watch him in the animated series, he's like, where was this in the film?
Right.
What they do?
a couple parries.
Oh, he was the last one to perish before Mace Windu, so he was better than the other two, but still.
I read somewhere that when he leaps and utters that god-awful scream that haunts my nightmares, it's like a force power that stuns them, and that's how he's able to cut them down.
Oh, that sounds like a cop-out. I'm sorry,
George.
I'm sorry, that sounds like a cop-out. They deserve better. So then we get to the Imperial era, which is not really much on the Imperial era of the LAAT. So, following the formation of the Galactic Empire, the remaining assault transports were absorbed into the Imperial Navy. During the Galactic Civil War, some LAATs were used by the Alliance to restore Republic against the Imperial garrisons. So, shocker, the rebels literally confiscated LAATs and used them against them. The Wookiees of Kashyyyk Resistance used LAAT leftovers from the Clone Wars in defending their homeworld from Imperial subjugation. These particular gunships had wings and missile launchers repainted yellow. All I want to know is why yellow. That's all I want to know. Why yellow?
Who knows?
That's a Wookiee thing, I guess. And then by 5 ABY, a more advanced variant of the aging LAAT, the low-altitude Imperial transport, was in use, one of which was used by the remnant of the Galactic Empire, led by Grand Moff Lorzin Tolruk on Kashyyyk. Yeah, never heard of this Lorzin.
Nope, me either.
So that's all we have in the Empire Age. So, other than that, we have the characteristics of the LAAT. The low-altitude assault transport infantry gunship was a military repulsor craft. Besides serving as an infantry unit, the LAAT gunship was also used to provide air-to-ground and air-to-air support for the Republic forces, which makes sense.
Yeah.
The front of the gunship had 2 double cockpit bubbles where the pilot and the co-pilot gunner sat in a single file. It could be sealed off from the rest of the gunship. A variety of equipment was located in the nose of the craft, including the flight computer and sensors. The LAAT gunship was armed with a varied mix of complementary weaponry, which could unleash considerable firepower. A pair of the dorsal mass driver missile launchers could fire a variety of ordnance up to a hypersonic velocities and hit targets hiding over the horizon. These were fed by rear-mounted missile belts, which utilized special frictionless material to load the weapons. Okay, that's cool.
That is pretty cool. Hit targets riding over the horizon. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Especially like if you understand like how like bullets work with the curving of the Earth, like a curving of a planet. Like that's pretty impressive to be able to do that. 4 composite beamed laser turrets provided defense against each airborne threats. Each turret had a wide field of rotation, which the composite beam design allowed for precision aiming beyond a turret's physical rotation. 2 of these were mounted in the wings and remotely controlled, while the other 2 extended out from the craft and were manually controlled by 2 gunners. 3 anti-personal laser cannon turrets, 2 mounted in the chin and 1 in the rear, were useful against infantry and other light ground targets. Each could vary the output the laser shot to a maximum of 5 gigajoules. Lastly, the gunship could carry 8 light air-to-air rockets mounted beneath the wings. So it had a pretty significant firepower. Beneath the surface layer of the superficial armor plating, the LAAT was equipped with an inner layer of powered super diversive armor, which could spread under the impact of enemy fire across the entire hull. It could also use laser turrets to shoot down enemy missiles. Nice. And then when faced with overwhelming enemy fire, the gunship could lose its blast shields. In a crash, the LAAT could deploy fire retardant, and both the cockpit canopy and the side doors could be explosively blown off from allow escape. Additional emergency equipment included medical packs and armor repair kits, collapsible repulsor stretches, inflatable decontamination tents, and an IM-6 battlefield medical droid. Holy crap. They were prepared for literally everything. They really were.
A LAAT gunship could carry a full platoon of 30 clone troopers in its main hold. The use of the powerful inertia capacitors helped troopers remain standing during their journey. It could also carry up to 4 speeder bikes. These were deployed from the tail ramp with the rear laser turret providing cover for fire during deployment. The gunship's primarily repulsor array was also located at the bottom of the fuselage. Additional altitude control repulsors were mounted in the wings, which, although not designed in aerodynamic lift, also helped to balance the craft. And then finally, designed specifically for moving low in a planet's atmosphere, the LAAT was an advantage when dogfighting starships below the altitude of mountains, as the latter had to sacrifice their considerable speed advantage. While not originally designed for it, LAATs were later modified to allow for short trips to space. And then some behind-the-scenes fact. The ship first appeared in the 2002 film Star Wars Attack of the Clones, where it was referred as the Jedi Attack Helicopter in pre-production. Star Wars creator George Lucas used news footage of helicopter-based infantry deployment as inspiration for the design. The cockpit configuration in particular was inspired by the Russian Mi-24 Hind attack helicopter. And that is what we got in the canon.
And this just goes to show George Lucas did a lot of research with actual war footage surrounding these films. All the dogfights are based on old World War I, World War II footage, and then he used a lot of the footage that we got from Vietnam.
Yeah, that he did
at that time. So yeah, It's definitely left a memorable mark on me, especially when I heard the people. Like, I saw the gunships in this theater for the first time. I was like, oh, those are cool. They definitely leave a lasting impression on us.
That they did. And it helps that in every game they're the most, like, awesome ships to fly. At least in ground fights.
Yes. They are slow, though. They are
very slow. Playing them in Battlefront 2 in space, good luck trying to get across the battlefield. By the time you get halfway through, you're probably going to be blown to bits.
Oh, that just reminds me. That gives me triggers from trying to do the, I don't think it was called Conquest. Supremacy, that's what it's called. The game mode, where you're like in this all-out warfare.
Yeah.
I sucked at that.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm not the best of first-person shooters anyway, so fun stuff.
All right, well, if you don't have anything else, I think that's all we got.
Yeah. So next week we will go over another starship. It's going to be I believe I have it as the CR-90 Corvette, which is a very famous Corvette in the Star Wars universe. And if you watched my stream last night, I blew one up as the Empire. I know, I suck. It's the Empire, but they gave me no choice.
I blew up the Corvus today.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So, we're 1 for 1.
Yeah, there we go.
But yeah, thank you for listening to the Holocron Histories podcast. We will see you next time.
And may the Force be with you. Thank you for listening to Holocron Histories, Star Wars Canon versus Legends. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net. You can also follow us on Twitter at SWHoloHistories and contact us at holocronhistories@gmail.com.